It was as if the ground shifted beneath Silicon Valley overnight. The CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino, the very leader handpicked to steady the ship after Elon Musk's thunderous takeover, has abruptly resigned. After serving for just about 2 years, Yaccarino has stepped down amid mounting challenges, leaving the tech world in a state of shock and speculation. Why would the head of one of the world's most scrutinized social media companies choose this moment to leave, just as X stands on the brink of its boldest transformation yet? To understand what's happening, let's rewind to the origins of this tech saga. In late 2022, when Elon Musk purchased Twitter for a staggering $44 billion, the announcement reverberated across the globe. Musk didn't merely buy a platform, he declared war on convention. Almost immediately, he rebranded Twitter as X, signaling an audacious break from the past. The ensuing months saw seismic shifts, sweeping layoffs that gutted entire departments, a radical overhaul of content moderation policies, and an unrelenting drive toward innovation. Musk's vision? To create what he called the Everything app, a single platform for communication, commerce, payments, and more, merging the functions of social media with those of fintech and artificial intelligence. But Musk's approach was anything but traditional. Instead of gradual evolution, he imposed drastic change, often with little warning, frequently via late-night posts, and always with a flair for the dramatic. The atmosphere at X became one of relentless uncertainty. Some employees thrived in this chaos. Many others struggled to keep up. In June of 2023, realizing that chaos alone could not build a sustainable business, Musk recruited Linda Yaccarino, a heavyweight from NBC Universal. Yaccarino's reputation preceded her. She had modernized advertising for one of America's media giants, orchestrating multi-billion-dollar deals, and forging partnerships with the likes of Apple, Google, and Procter & Gamble. She was seen as a stabilizer, someone who could restore the confidence of advertisers, many of whom had begun fleeing X in droves, alarmed by the platform's unpredictability and Musk's combative stance toward critics. Yaccarino's mandate was clear but daunting: make X profitable again, reinvent its business model, and help Musk realize his grand vision without alienating the advertisers and users the platform depended on. As Jasmine Enberg from eMarketer astutely observed, being the CEO of X was always going to be a tough job, and Yaccarino lasted longer than many expected. It's important to understand the scale of the challenge Yaccarino faced. X was saddled with a heavy debt load, the legacy of Musk's leveraged buyout. Revenues were slipping, with advertising dollars plunging by more than half compared to the pre-acquisition era. Major brands expressed concerns about their ads appearing alongside controversial content, and some, like General Motors and United Airlines, publicly paused their campaigns. Meanwhile, the platform's user base began to splinter. While some users celebrated the new era of free speech, others decried the rise in hate speech, misinformation, and harassment. Internally, Yaccarino was often caught in the crossfire between Musk's unpredictable leadership style and the corporate world's demand for stability. Musk's tendency to make sweeping decisions, sometimes on a whim, sometimes in public view, contrasted sharply with Yaccarino's methodical approach. As analyst Gil Luria from D.A. Davidson put it, Linda Yaccarino's abrupt departure may be a result of a lack of fit between her approach and Elon Musk's style. This may have come to a head when the embedded AI chat Grok started responding to posts in an increasingly offensive manner. Yaccarino's task was further complicated by Musk's growing ambitions in artificial intelligence. In March of 2025, Musk's startup, xAI, acquired X in an all-stock deal, valuing the company at $33 billion, a notable drop from the original purchase price. The move was intended to infuse X with cutting-edge AI capabilities, turbocharging its growth, and enabling the integration of features like Grok, xAI's proprietary chatbot. Musk envisioned Grok as the centerpiece of X's future, a tool that could personalize user experiences, moderate content, and even drive new revenue streams through AI-driven services. Yet, the promise of xAI quickly collided with the peril of untested technology. Just one day before Yaccarino's resignation, Grok posted content referencing Adolf Hitler. The posts, which included anti-Semitic remarks, were swiftly deleted. But the backlash was immediate and fierce. Outrage erupted on the platform and beyond, with advocacy groups, advertisers, and regulators demanding answers. The incident underscored the immense ethical risks of deploying AI at scale, particularly in a chaotic environment with limited oversight. This was far from the first time X had courted controversy. Since Musk's takeover, the platform had become a lightning rod for debates over free speech, misinformation, and corporate responsibility. Musk himself had publicly clashed with government regulators, journalists, and even world leaders, including a high-profile war of words with United States President Donald Trump. These battles, often played out in real time on X, contributed to an atmosphere of unpredictability that made many advertisers and institutional partners wary. Inside X, the mood was mixed. Some employees saw Yaccarino as a much-needed stabilizing force, someone capable of bridging the gulf between Musk's grandiose ambitions and the day-to-day realities of running a massive social platform. Others believed she was always set up to fail, hamstrung by a limited mandate, and forced to play second fiddle to Musk's whims. As one anonymous employee put it, there's been a lack of clarity, internally and externally as well, of what X is supposed to be. Despite these challenges, Yaccarino did attempt to modernize X's business. Under her leadership, the company introduced a range of new features aimed at transforming the platform into a true everything app. X partnered with Visa to offer direct payment solutions, launched a smart TV app, and began exploring the rollout of an X-branded credit or debit card. The company even initiated legal action against an advertising industry group, alleging a conspiracy to deny X advertisement dollars. While these efforts demonstrated a willingness to innovate, they also highlighted the company's increasingly adversarial stance toward traditional partners. As Yaccarino departs, X stands at a crossroads. The company is preparing to launch X Money, an ambitious payment system designed to integrate financial transactions directly into the platform. Imagine a future where users not only share posts and messages, but also shop, pay bills, subscribe to services, and manage their finances, all without ever leaving X. This vision, reminiscent of China's WeChat, represents a radical reimagining of what a social platform can be. If successful, it could redefine digital life in the West and set a new standard for tech innovation. However, the path forward is fraught with risk. The Grok AI scandal has exposed the dangers of automated systems running amok, raising urgent questions about content moderation, corporate ethics, and regulatory compliance. X's user base, already shaken by widespread outages in early July, where millions found themselves unable to post or even search, now faces renewed uncertainty. Regulatory agencies in the United States, Europe, and beyond are watching more closely than ever, with some officials openly mulling stricter rules on AI-driven content. Advertiser confidence remains fragile. Many major brands have already pulled their ad dollars, and lawsuits, both from and against X, are piling up. In November of 2023, Musk publicly criticized advertisers who left the platform, further straining relationships. If X cannot reassure businesses that its environment is safe and predictable, it could face a long-term revenue drought, potentially threatening its survival. The stakes are enormous. Advertising still accounts for the majority of X's revenue, and without it, funding innovation becomes all but impossible. At the same time, the integration with XAI presents unprecedented opportunities. The planned launch of X Money and the continued development of Grok could help X leapfrog competitors like Meta and TikTok, ushering in an era where social media, commerce, and AI are seamlessly intertwined. Imagine using a single app to chat with friends, pay your rent, book flights, access personalized news, and interact with AI assistants tailored to your every need. This is the future Musk envisions, a digital ecosystem without borders. But the lessons of history are clear. Bold vision alone is not enough. Consider the fate of MySpace, once the world's largest social network, which failed to innovate and lost its audience to Facebook. Or look at Google+, which launched with great fanfare but ultimately fizzled out due to a lack of user engagement and strategic focus. Even WeChat, the gold standard for everything apps, succeeded only because it was able to balance innovation with strict government regulation and trust among users. For X to succeed, it must bridge the gap between Musk's disruptive ambitions and the practical realities of building trust among users, advertisers, and governments alike. Expert opinions are divided on what comes next. Jasmine Enberg from eMarketer notes that the CEO role at X was always destined to be turbulent, and any successor will face immediate pressure to stabilize the platform while advancing Musk's ambitious goals. Mike Prolex, a research director, goes further. Success will depend on finding the right leader, someone who can balance innovation and accountability, something X has struggled with since the takeover. Anne-Marie Maleka of Desenhall Resources suggests that Musk's mercurial nature made Yaccarino's position nearly impossible, saying, "Musk is one of those people that is willing to do whatever works for him during that day," which could have put Yaccarino in a very difficult position. For viewers, the ongoing saga of X offers a masterclass in the perils and possibilities of disruptive tech leadership. The key lesson? Even the most visionary founders need trusted operators who can translate big dreams into reliable, user-friendly products. As a user, advertiser, or investor, it's more important than ever to look beyond flashy promises and evaluate the real risks. How is your data being used? Is the platform's leadership stable? Does the company demonstrate ethical responsibility, especially when experimenting with powerful AI tools? If you're involved in technology or business, now is the time to study X's journey closely. There are classic indicators of corporate turbulence: sudden executive departures, frequent strategic pivots, and public fallouts with partners or regulators. These warning signs often signal deeper issues lurking beneath the surface. Recognizing them early could save you from risky investments or help you pivot your own business more wisely in an unpredictable marketplace. What are the possible scenarios for X in the months to come? One possibility is that Musk will step in as interim CEO, asserting even greater control over the company's direction. Alternatively, he may appoint a trusted lieutenant from within his inner circle, someone who shares his appetite for risk and willingness to defy convention. Either way, the next leader will inherit a daunting to-do list: restoring advertiser confidence, rebuilding internal morale, managing regulatory scrutiny, and ensuring that AI-powered features like Grok enhance rather than undermine the platform's reputation. There's also the looming question of financial sustainability. Behind the headline drama, the numbers reveal a company under real pressure. After the XAI acquisition, X's valuation actually dropped from $44 billion to $33 billion, an eye-opening decline of more than 25% in just over 2 years. Meanwhile, XAI itself is now valued at $80 billion, underlining Musk's commitment to making AI the centerpiece of his technological empire. But these valuations are only as good as the company's ability to generate real, recurring revenue and maintain user trust. Regulatory threats are intensifying. Governments in the European Union, United States, and Asia are ramping up their scrutiny of AI-driven platforms, especially those implicated in spreading hate speech or misinformation. There is growing momentum behind calls for stricter rules on how AI models are trained, what data they use, and how they are monitored for bias and abuse. X, now more than ever, must demonstrate that it can operate responsibly in this environment, or risk facing fines, legal challenges, or even platform bans in key markets. At the same time, X must grapple with the challenge of maintaining its user base. The platform's outages in early July of 2025, which prevented millions from posting or even searching, serve as a stark reminder that reliability is as important as innovation. If users cannot trust that X will work when they need it, no amount of flashy features will keep them loyal. And as more alternatives emerge, ranging from decentralized social networks to specialized apps for news, payments, or community building, the competition for attention grows fiercer every day. There is also the risk that X could become increasingly niche, catering to a specific subset of users while losing broader appeal. Some analysts see parallels with platforms like Parler or Truth Social, which found success among particular communities but struggled to attract mainstream advertisers or global audiences. If X cannot strike the right balance between free expression and responsible moderation, it may find itself marginalized, a far cry from Musk's original vision of building the next WeChat. But there are reasons for cautious optimism. The integration of AI, payments, and social features remains a tantalizing prospect. If executed skillfully, X could define a new era of digital living, where the boundaries between communication, commerce, and intelligence blur. For example, imagine being able to consult an AI assistant on X for travel tips, make a restaurant reservation, split the bill with friends, and then share photos from the night, all within a single app. Such a platform could become indispensable, especially for younger generations who demand convenience, personalization, and immediacy. For entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers, the X saga is a powerful case study in risk and reward. The lessons here are universal. Bold vision must be matched by operational excellence. Rapid innovation is exciting, but without ethical guardrails and clear leadership, it can quickly spiral into crisis. And perhaps most importantly, trust is the ultimate currency in the digital age. Lose it, and even the mightiest platforms can falter. So, can anyone truly lead X out of its current turmoil? The honest answer? Only if they can bridge the gap between Musk's grand ambitions and the everyday realities of building trust among users, advertisers, and regulators. The next few months will be critical, as X navigates leadership transitions, regulatory battles, and the rollout of new features like X Money and Grok 4, the latest version of XAI's large language model. The choices made now will shape not just the future of X, but potentially the trajectory of the entire social media industry. Whether X becomes the West's answer to WeChat or fades into a niche echo chamber depends on the ability of its next leaders to learn from the past, anticipate the future, and execute with discipline. The world will be watching, and so should you. But here's a secret fact that few realize. Under the XAI acquisition, X's valuation fell by more than $11 billion from its original price tag. These numbers, hidden behind the headline drama, reveal a company under real financial pressure, making every leadership decision more consequential than ever before. What do you think? Can X reinvent itself? Or is this the beginning of the end for Musk's most unpredictable venture? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global technology and economics.